TV show called Bodies. Now, the premise of
Oh,
this
I've
is,
heard about this one. This is the
Sharon,
different timelines.
I was just about to say that I thought that you might like this.
Yeah, if I
Uh,
have a moment to have a television evening, I might try to check it out.
yeah, I thought that you might. So I'm going to try my best not to give you any spoilers and not
Yeah.
to put you off watching it. So it's so Bodies. The whole idea behind this is that you have it starts off in 2023, and it starts off telling you that it's 2023, and there is a police woman who finds a body in the street. She finds a body naked in an alley, and it's been shot in the eye, but they can't find the bullets, and that body's just there. And so she's going over trying to figure out what on earth is going on with this body. Then all of a sudden, the show rewinds back and it goes back to 1941. And in 1941, there is this Jewish policeman who works in London who finds the same body in the same alley, but in 1941. And then he's trying to figure out, okay, what's going on with this body and everything, and why is this thing here? And the people give him phone calls and they tell him things like, no, you are loved, and then they give him instructions to go do certain things about moving the body from one place to another, and then you realize that, okay, there's something that's going on here. But before you can figure that out, the show rewinds even further back to 1892, I think it is, to 1892, where this time another policeman finds the same body in Long Harvest Lane in London in exactly the same position with exactly the same markings, a tattoo on one wrist, one eye missing, no bullet being found, all that kind of stuff. And when you start having is that you now start having it being cutting across these timelines as they're going through these things and trying to answer the question, why is this body in the street across these three timelines? And
Are they aware of the other previous investigations?
not to begin with.
No, I'm going to say that'd be quite some police archive if they have.
Yeah,
There was this case from 1950 or. Huh?
No, okay, Sharon. I think you might. I think you might like. Okay, let's put it this way. There are archive scenes. There are trips to the archive scenes in this show where they're trying to figure it out. And they're trying to figure out what is it with this body, what's going on. And as it goes along, you find out that it has something to do with a character played by Steve Graham who shows up in two different timelines with two different names. And
This is
so
intriguing me actually. I'm thinking I'm going to have to watch this.
I think you would quite like it. I think you would quite like it, and it's because it is an intriguing premise. It's another one that's based on a graphic novel. It's an intriguing premise. It kicks off there, and it's okay. What's going to happen? How are we going to fare? What are we going to do with all this sort of stuff? And and something happens at the end of the first episode, which they kind of tell you in the trailers, and you can find out what happens there, and I feel like it's a bit of a spoiler, so I don't know whether to tell you. But
Don't tell me then, because I don't even watch the trailers.
okay, cool. Okay, so that happens, and now this is the problem because you have still got to watch it. It makes it difficult for me to review it because I'm like anything I say could affect your
I can
viewing
take
pleasure.
my earbuds out for 5 minutes or for a few minutes until you wave, and then you can talk away for the benefit of our listenership and our viewership, and without me about spoiling it for me.
Okay, cool. Okay, good stuff. Good
I
stuff.
say headphones are out.
All right, cool. Okay, cool. So Sharon is no longer here, and Sean, now I can tell you what I really think. But no, I think it's a very very intriguing premise to begin with. It's a very intriguing premise, as Sharon says, and you start watching. That's why I started watching it. And there's timey wimey stuff that's going on where there's things going on, and because this person affects that thing in this timeline, and that goes into this thing. But I think in the end, it kind of ends up asking more questions. As what you know, what happens with things that have to do with time travel, that you end up with a point where you're like, hang on a second, but if that happened, how about that? If that happened, how about that? Wouldn't that affect that? And wouldn't that go? And it ends up being a little too neat at the end of it, where it ends up being a little too neat. I feel like it should be a little bit messier if you sort that out. I'm not sure because you know that there's the Back to the Future model of time travel where you can change the past and therefore change your present. Then there's things like the 12 monkeys thing where that says there's 12 monkeys thing that says if something has happened, it's always going to have happened, and it has taken account of the fact that you're going back in time to try and change it. So there's the 12 monkeys thing that says that, and this for a while seems like it's going with one time travel model, and then at one point it seems to sort of switch to go, oh well, we need something to change this thing, so they go to another time travel model, which doesn't quite work for me towards the end. And so in the end, I think it starts off really strong. I love the performances. I love everything that they do with it. Then after a point, once they start explaining to you what's happening, it loses a little bit of push, and it goes down to around about a 3 for me. And it has at the end guess what? This could still be going on. Come back for season 2. But I feel like they've gotten to the end of the story that was probably told in the graphic novel, and I'm not sure that season 2 is going to be any good. I think season 2 might just be them messing about. But so that's it. I would give it a 3 out of 5 for me.
Cool.
And now we can Sharon come back in.
Sharon should come back